Hey peeps, I'm about to drive to my friend's house to test the Powerline Ethernet adapter because she wants to use it in a different room while she's working from home. You know, that whole have a separate space just for your work, then your other space for your working at home work. And this particular individual does do stuff on a laptop with the printer and all that. She has a room for that, but she wants to separate it to a different room for working on stuff for work. I'm rambling, but I'm going to show you the stuff that I'm bringing for the test. Most importantly, the laptop, so I can do some line tests. It's my laptop, and my main phone for GPS, and that has nothing to do with anything. Ignore that trippingness. There's a short in a wire on that gauge I have to fix. Anyways, and this hand sanitizer that I have happened to have owned for like a year and a half before the human malware was a thing, and some nitro gloves from my kitchen, and this mask. And now these three things, 1, 2, 3, are more for her benefit than mine, so I don't bring something from my environment into her environment. All right, now let's cut to the next scene. So, all right, I'm here, and to get started, I got my laptop here and a spare Ethernet cable for the testing. And you see here, that's her modem router combination, and she's got an Ethernet cable running out the back to the Powerline adapter that she was using before for something else. And we're going to do some line tests on my laptop to see how strong the signal is straight into the modem first. So while my laptop boots up, you can see in the back of here, hey, future/editing me here. I just thought I'd stop this and freeze that little picture of the back of the modem, because there's something I realized after filming this, which was after I filmed setting up my modem for working at home, that every modem is different, but this particular modem is a cable modem, and it also provides VoIP, telephone at home, and the top 2 connections on the back of that modem are to be used for hooking up telephone, and those 4 that are together are called the Ethernet switch, and that's what you hook up your wired devices to. And then that next wire down, the 3rd one, is the cable line. That wire is a coax. People get confused because cable TV, blah, blah, blah. No, that any wire can carry any signal of any kind. It's all the technology in it, how it controls bandwidths and noise and stuff not mixing in with each other through the signals. Don't worry about all that. This is a cable modem because she has cable internet, not cable TV. And then the last wire, obviously at the bottom, the 4th one, that's the power cable. Okay, back to the video. Whenever you see 4 together, I'll take the light away so you can see better. Ethernet 1, Ethernet 2, Ethernet 3, Ethernet 4. You can use any one of these. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in here. And now we're going to move to the laptop. I'm going to start up OBS so I can record it. All right, we're going to do a sync for OBS. Testing, ABC, 1, 2, 3. So the first thing you want to do is pull up network connections, and the easiest way is Windows button, letter R together, and type ncpa.cpl, hit enter. There are ways to get into the control panel and find that, but that's just the fastest way, so I can go straight there. First thing I'm going to do is right-click my Wi-Fi and hit disable. All right. Second thing is I'm going to pull up CMD from Windows button R. Again, Windows button R together, CMD, enter. And then IP config. Whenever I tell people this over the phone, they always think I say T as in Tom. There's no T as in Tom in it anywhere. It's IP config, short for Internet Protocol Configuration. Who cares what all geekiness that means? We just want to see the IP address. It says media state disconnected. It's not showing me Wi-Fi right now because we're disabling it for this test. So plug in the Ethernet cable that I hooked up to the modem. No, not necessarily, no. But you can see you have an IP there. Okay, this is another good spot to pause it and give some more information because it's going to help you. I didn't always know this stuff. This IP config stuff is me writing down stuff when I had problems with my internet and I had to keep calling my internet service provider till they finally sent a tech out. Then I use the same information later to figure out other problems without having to call my internet service provider. So if you look over here, I've highlighted the IPv4 address. Back then, there was just an IP address. There's no V4, there's no V6. V6 is a fancy one you don't need to worry about. We're still using V4 between computers and routers. If you have a modem router combination, it's still a router. This is the IP address your router gives your computer, not your IP address for the internet. And if there's other geeky stuff you can get into, like the subnet mask and the default gateway, but if you want to see if your computer can talk to the router, it's the default gateway. That's the IP address of the router. But we spent enough time on this part. Moving on. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Brave. If you don't know about Brave, it's a Chromium-based browser, just like Chrome is, or Edge, the new one, not the old one. But it has all the tracking stuff removed, and it even has built-in ad blockers. Okay, so let's go to speedtest.net. Go. I'm going to write down the results in Notepad here in a minute. And I'm going to run it 3 times in a row, and I'm going to calculate an average. So test 2 seems to be hung up. I'm going to refresh the page with F5, but explain the problem here. Now usually you can just run an Ethernet cable straight from your modem to another room by snaking it around the edge of the wall, and that works great. You can even extend it by using switches, which are like routers, but what switches do is extend the ports that you have for a router. So the back of one has 5 Ethernet ports, and one of them comes from the router, and then the other 4 go to your devices. But in this case, she lives in a split level, so there's no way, because the walls don't connect with the walls in the room where she wants to set this up. It's very awkward and annoying. 9155, 1078. I'm going to hit Alt and left to go back. Hit F5 to refresh it again so it doesn't freeze up. All right, that test's done. Now I'm going to unplug the Ethernet cable from the modem, and I'm going to carry it with me to the place where she wants to be doing her work from home. Now here's the Powerline adapter. We're going to go hook this up. Let's see if it syncs up. Yeah, it's all green. If it wasn't all green, you'd have to push a button on the main one by the modem, and then within 2 minutes, push the button on this one, and you have to hold it for a certain number of seconds. So if you have one, make sure you read the instruction manual. So that's hooked up. I'm going to plug an Ethernet cable into it. That's still hooked up to my laptop. Brought dust from the basement. Basement's be dusty. All right, let's do some tests here. First thing I want to do is do an IP config again. I type CLS. C as in Charles, L as in Larry, S as in Sam. And I will clear the screen so I don't get confused by the previous data. And then press the up arrow on my keyboard a couple times so it does a history and types what I typed before and just hit enter. Now I know I have an IP there. Let's hit back. It's Alt and left arrow. Hit F5 to refresh the page so it doesn't lock up on me. And if you're not familiar, the reason why you have a download speed and an upload speed is those are two different connections that you actually have when you're connected to the internet. You download data and you upload data. You're usually uploading less. You're usually just uploading requests for downloads. And that's why they give you less of a download speed. All right, now that we're at the end of the 6 tests, 3 tests connected directly to the modem and 3 tests while connecting with the Ethernet power adapter, I'd like to show you that I forgot to hit save in Notepad, so I didn't get the numbers for the second set of tests. But the first set was like this: 60.9, 91.55, and 107.11. I found out from this individual that she's paying for 100, and this particular internet service provider ranges all over the place with their speeds. But what we're looking for is that using an Ethernet Powerline adapter, you don't lose any of that speed. And I do remember she had a 61, a 63, and another 60 when hooked up to the Ethernet Powerline adapter. So that tells me she wasn't losing any speed. Who knows what that means? Not that many wires for her converted signal to go through her home electrical network? I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you know more geeky stuff about the Ethernet Powerline adapters, because I've never had to use one. I've either like ran through the attic or through the basement or around the carpet on the edge of the wall and tucked it under the carpet. I've never had to get put into a situation like hers where none of the walls connected and you were going across stairs and stuff and you didn't want to make tripping hazard. And if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more videos where a friend asked me to randomly help them with something, or I do a random tech video, or I do a random video with my son, because that's the kind of stuff I'm into. That's I can keep making videos on it. I need you to subscribe and click the bell. But the thing that helps me out the most is comments. Please comment below any ideas or anything that pops in your head. I don't care. YouTube, first and foremost, is a social platform, and that's what pushes the algorithm to promote my videos to other people to see it, and eventually my channel will get monetized. So please, 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 that'll help me out, and that'll give me the heart shapes when you make the comments. And that's it. Test worked good. One thing I did notice in her situation, that she had a mini fridge hooked up into the same outlet as her laptop. You know, the laptop was in the top one, the mini fridge is in the bottom one. The Powerline Ethernet adapter needs to be directly plugged in to the wall. It can't be on a surge protector, so I'm going to suggest she gets a surge protector and she has her laptop share the surge protector with the fridge. But other than that, this video's done. One thing popped into my head while I was just finishing up editing this video. You guys need to know which Ethernet Powerline adapter she's using. It's a TP-Link, and I put an affiliate link to Amazon in the description below. She had asked me for a recommendation on one, and I did a whole bunch of research and write a whole bunch of reviews. And I was going off of the reviews of multiple pages, and other people said, don't get this one, buy this one. That's why I'm showing you guys this one right now. And she's been using it for 1.5 years and has not had any problems with it. She just decided to move it to a different room so she could keep her work and home stuff separate. Other than all that, thanks for watching the video. I've been Robert Jene. Go ahead and click on some of my other videos if you want to see some more stuff going on. I think I'll put something goofy on one side and something work-related on the other side for work at home stuff. And thanks for watching. Bye.